Hello everyone, Pyson here. So last week I made a video about there being a new announcement for a Shining Force game. A new Shining Force game, that's right. It's a mobile game called Shining Force Heroes of Light and Darkness, being developed by Vespa, a Korean mobile dev. That's also responsible for the very popular King's Raid. I wish I've personally never played before. So because of that, for a couple reasons in that video, I explained the why I was a bit skeptical and worried, but also hopeful and still a bit optimistic for the future of this IP and what these series of games, starting with this one, could hold. So to my surprise, now a week later, they actually dropped a trailer. I'm actually playing it right now uh, as I talk, and when I'm done with this, I'm gonna pinpoint some of my highlights from the trailer and talk about that a bit. But from what I saw from the trailer, I am absolutely amazed. I'm pleasantly surprised. I was I came into the trailer hoping I could be more optimistic, and I came out being more optimistic. I'm like, hey, Vespa really seems to be putting a lot of care into this already, just from like the quick 2 minute trailer that played. I'm that hopeful about it. This seems very promising. Like the art style looks very good. Like reminiscing the old style a bit, just a bit of an anime aesthetic, of course, which is totally fine. And the battle animations, the battles themselves look like the old ones. It's looking good. Like the maps, the HUDs, all that stuff. It's all good. Now I'm gonna look at some of the highlights. The first highlight, of course, is the very beginning of the trailer when it shows us Simone here explaining to us the plot. I can't really read Korean, so I don't really know exactly what she's saying, but I'm pretty sure that she's explaining the concept of this world and like usual. And I thought that was pretty nice of them to include that in there. So that theme, the iconic theme, starts starts up, and it shows all these characters lined up. It shows all the villains, even the Dark Dragon. Then it shows this line of heroes here from across a bunch of games. The first one, the second one, and this even the CD remake of the two Gaiden games. Like as the music plays and I see this, I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. But besides the cool point, I this is a highlight because it further emphasizes that this is gonna be a gacha that's gonna draw from a bunch of the early games, and I'm gonna find it interesting how they'll go about it. Next, I'll quickly touch upon what I said earlier about the art style. Here we have Max, the protagonist of the first game, Shining Force One, and he looks great. Uh, it's like I said, it's like a reminiscent of the old art style, and I think it touches upon it very well while it's still having its own unique little anime aesthetic, which is of course a given. I was expecting that, but it looks great. Next, I'll quickly go over some of the maps and grids that they showed. Here we have like a overall map of like the village, and it looks pretty nice and well polished. Here we have like a grid. It seems one of the characters making a move, and I specifically wanted to highlight this because it shows the HUD, and to the bottom right you have the your moves, your passive skills. To the bottom left is your health, and to the left is your turn order. And I think this all looks very well and polished. And then we have here some dialogue that's going on between characters in the middle of the game, or maybe it could be before the this map starts or whatever. But I think it's interesting because I think this goes a little bit more deeper storytelling wise, maybe than Fire Emblem Heroes. And of course, one of the last things I want to touch upon, highlight, is the battle system itself. Here you have Max battling an archer, and it really does look like the old days of like the first, second game, and all those. The point of view here, I'm showing you like the very fluid animations of the characters attacking. It looks so nice. And then there's even like special attacks or ultimate attacks, and they all have such great animations. I don't know if you can like turn these off, maybe because after a while of watching these, like they look cool, but you don't always want to be watching them, but they look fantastic. And then you have, of course, the title. And that were my thoughts and highlights from the trailer. If you haven't watched the trailer yet, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link to the trailer below. It's only like 2 minutes. It's very good. And if you haven't seen it already, I'm personally very optimistic, and I'm definitely going to be downloading this when it comes out next year, if it's hopefully a worldwide release. We need to show Sega that we really do want more Shining Force, so we need to support this. So thank you for watching my nonsense, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.